Hey everyone, sorry it's been a while since I've posted about this build. It took a little bit longer than I thought, and I had to try a lot of different combinations to find something that's kind of an out-of-the-box solution for what you're trying to do. So essentially, in order to get a LS into an Astro van, this is an '03 Astro van, and so there's that. It had the 4.3. It's a Vin X, all that stuff. This is a two-wheel drive Astro van, not an all-wheel drive. So if you're all-wheel drive, that's kind of different because you have a different front crossmember and all that. So with this, there is a company. I think it's called Journeys Off-Road. They do sell a complete mount kit for putting an LS into an Astro van, but there's a few caveats that come with that kit. In that, one, you have to have an all-wheel drive Astro van for the kit to work, and two, you need to have like a 3-inch body lift. There needs to be 3-inch spacers between your subframe and the actual body. So if you're trying to go for a two-wheel drive street machine, that may not work for you, but it's something to look at. They've got some nice pictures on their site of what they did. So they anyway, I'll get into it. So in order to mount this in what I consider to be correctly with the correct drive line, and correct angles and correct clearance and everything like that, here's what you've got to do. So you're going to have to buy two mount kits. One is the ICT billet. It is the aluminum bracket style that moves the mount back. It's like a flat bracket. You're going to end up using that kit on both sides, and I'll show you a little bit later down from underneath. And then you use the original 4.3 mount bracket on the driver's side, and then you have to use from the other mount kit is like the Dirty Dingo style S10 LS mount kit. You'll need the bracket from that too back in here, and I'll show that one too and all the orientations and everything a little later. But up front, you'll end up about here. There is a little line. Let me get my flashlight out and show you. Let's see here. So right down there, you've got this little line right there. It is the furthest line up. That line should be roughly about where the first groove on your crank pulley is. And then the center line of your crank should line up with the inboard side of this brace right here. That gives you your true center line there. If you follow this rule, you're going to end up with a crankshaft that's pointed directly at the pinion and the differential. It will be slightly offset. You'll notice that it's a little bit closer here than it is over here. Unfortunately, to do this swap, the LS heads are taller than the original Vortec heads that came off the 4.3, so you are going to have to modify your cowl. Just only in the corners right here, where it has that little hold down bolt, you're going to have to cut that section out and fiberglass over that area and come up with a different mounting system. I haven't gotten that far yet, but there's no other way to do this, and I'm pretty sure that's why the off-road kit, the actual kit you can buy, that's why they probably tell you need a 3 or 4 inch lift, because you're going to need that just to get that to happen. It's not too bad. It's just in the corners, and I'm thinking maybe it might mess with the mat pocket or something in the center console, but that's it. Anyway, let's see here. I think that's everything for the front. It does clear the accumulator for the ABS for the Hydro Boost. I did cut my bracket off like a lot of people suggest, though if you're doing this right, you wouldn't really have to. The other kit made you do that, which tells me their kit's further over to the right, but you know, I know that my stuff's straight because I'm running a laser level straight from the center line of the crank back to the diff, and I know my stuff is straight. So there's that right there. Now underneath, I'll go ahead and show you and get in this position. Let's see here. Underneath, here's how the mounts work. Is you have get a flashlight on that. So this is the 4.3 bracket right here. It's the bracket with the ear that goes back. they're not symmetrical brackets from the factory. So it's the one with the ear that comes furthest back on this side, and then it's got that aluminum bracket there. So that's what I did there. It's a factory mount. That's the factory little mount bracket piece that goes on the frame there. And then you do clear with the pan. There is enough clearance here. Now, I went with a car pan. The reason I went with a car pan, you can go with the truck pan, but the truck pan might actually stick down. My truck pan was lower than the crossmember, and I don't like that. I was afraid it might get damaged. Two, with the truck pan, you have to clear this crossmember here when you're trying to go in if you've got the engine and transmission as an assembly. That's going to fight you a lot and be very hard to get in and get clearance from the body up top. So I ended up getting the Holley car pan and going that route. And the other consideration with the truck pan is that you need to clear the center link for your steering. With the truck pan, it barely cleared when I did this. So you could probably get away with doing it. It's just going to be close. So you might want to take that into consideration. You might have to remove the Zerk fitting just to get it to clear. It was too close for me. I didn't like that. So that's what happened there. Now going over to the passenger side, I'll show you what I did there if I don't mind hitting myself. Get my head on the jack stand. Okay, so over here, what we've got is the aluminum bracket again. It's got that ICT billet. Spacer, mines are knockoffs, they're not even the real ones. And then I've got part of that S10 location kit. Now, there are two brackets in the S10 kit. This is the longer of the two brackets, the one that sticks out more. And then I've got it bolted into the aluminum plate, but it just barely, it's almost all the way to the forward position of these, how do I say it? It's got these little sliders in it. The bolt's almost all the way forward if you've got that in right. But then again, if you follow the stuff I showed you on that front bracket in the beginning, you should know your forward to backward pretty well. Now, so that's how I mounted it in. You've got clearance up here. The heads do clear the body, and exhaust is far enough down, in my opinion, that it's not going to cook anything and should be fine. So you've got clearance there too. Now, I'm going with a 4L80E. With my 4L80E, sorry. Got lights everywhere here. Let me rotate this down a little bit. So for my cross member, what I ended up doing is I got a 3-inch over the axle stainless steel pipe off of Amazon. It had an expander on one end, and I cut that expander off, and I went into this crossmember and the original crossmember here and sliced it. If you squish this down in a shop press and then kind of beat the sides out a little bit, this pipe will slide right in on both sides. And then using my laser level, which I've probably bumped at this point. Anyway, my laser level, it does go right up to the center point there, and that's how I found the center for my, the bolt for my transmission mount. I still need to set my pinion angle, but the cool thing is that this rotates inside of the crossmember, so I can bring this down or up or whatever until I get my right pinion angle. So that's kind of cool. So there's all that. And then, you know, with the transmission, you got plenty of room to work on everything. And that's about it. I'm sure everybody else has got a ton of questions. I'm going with a 4-inch steel drive shaft I had custom made. Center to center, it was 48.5 inches. But, you know, yours may vary. You know, everybody's kind of got their different thing. You can change the mount configuration, go a little more forward if you desire to do that for whatever reason, or back. You know, it just takes time and setting all that up. But let's see here. Oh, on the front mount there, just for those who are wondering, it does have a set of 4 holes in it. I've got mine right now set to the 3rd hole from, so you've got like 4 holes there, and then so like the 4th would be the furthest forward, go back 1. So it's like the 3rd hole. And then my bracket has the D, kind of hard to see, but the D is, it's upside down. So I've got the edge of the bracket coming back on this side like that. And that's the same thing I did on the other side too. So your letters will be upside down if yours does have letters. But there's that. And then let's see, for the differential, really not too much else to it. Mine's a 14 bolt, and then you can see my drive shaft is equal in length and distance from the gas tank all the way front to back, because I've got my stuff lined up right. And that's what you got to do. You can get a 4-inch drive shaft in here if you're gonna make some big power. Well, anyway, that's it for now. I am working on the wiring harnesses. I've got them out. That's the next phase. And I've got a express van harness, which I think is closer in reality to what the Astro van is, and I got the Astro van harness. But since mine's an 03, it has the LS computer, so the first or Gen 3 computer. So I'm just going to take the Gen 3 computer parts of the harness and put them into the Astro van harness, and in theory that should work. But I'm going to have to do a full write-up on that. Anyway, anything else on? Oh, one other thing. You are going to need to mod the subframe, kind of where I marked it in white. If you're running the truck compressor, it's going to get into that. So that's the only other thing. But yeah, that should be it. All right, well, I hope this helps somebody. Have a good one.